Okay, so you want to own a self-storage facility. In the United States, there are more than 50,000 of them, adding up to billions of rentable square feet. From the outside, it looks simple. Metal doors, monthly rent, low staffing. But strong occupancy does not automatically mean strong profit. Land cost, debt payments, property taxes, climate control, and nearby competitors can decide the entire outcome. So this video breaks down the entry cost, where the money leaks out, why vacancy is more dangerous than it looks, and where the real upside begins. The appeal starts with a very clean fantasy. Buy land, put up rows of metal boxes, install a gate, and collect rent every month from people who mostly do not need to talk to you. Compared with apartments, there are no toilets to fix inside every unit, no kitchens to remodel between tenants, and no midnight calls about broken heaters in someone's bedroom. Many customers rent online, sign electronically, receive a gate code, and move in without a manager walking them through the property. Demand also comes from messy moments in ordinary life. People move, downsize, get divorced, settle estates after a death, or need somewhere to park furniture between houses. Small businesses use units for tools, documents, equipment, and inventory. College students need summer storage. Families buy holiday decorations, sports gear, baby furniture, and boxes they are not ready to throw away. That variety matters because the customer base is not tied to one single industry. A facility can serve homeowners, renters, contractors, online sellers, retirees, and students at the same time. The rent is usually monthly, the leases are short, and price changes can happen faster than in many other real estate categories. This is why lenders and investors tend to understand the pitch quickly. Self-storage can produce recurring revenue with fewer employees than many property types, and demand has often held up when the economy gets uncomfortable. On a spreadsheet, it can look almost too elegant. Predictable rent, limited staffing, simple buildings, and thousands of small customers instead of one big tenant. So the obvious question is this: if the model is so simple, why do some facilities print cash while others quietly bleed money? The first real divide is not whether you own self-storage. It is what kind of self-storage you can afford to enter. At the small end, an investor might buy or build a rural facility or a property in a secondary market where land is cheaper and construction is simpler. This could mean fewer units, gravel drives, basic lighting, a keypad gate, and mostly drive-up storage. The total cost can be far lower than a city project, but the trade-off is demand. Rents may be weaker, lease-up can take longer, and one new competitor nearby can change the math quickly. A mid-sized suburban facility is a different business. Now the site may need hundreds of units, stronger fencing, cameras, access control, stormwater work, paving, signage, management software, and a website that can handle online rentals. The customer pool is usually better, but the project can move into seven-figure territory before it opens, especially if the land is already zoned for commercial use. Then there is the institutional version: urban, multi-story, climate-controlled storage. These projects can require expensive land, elevators, heating and cooling systems, fire suppression, interior hallways, professional design, and full-time or third-party management. They may earn much higher rent per square foot, but the upfront capital can be closer to an apartment development than a row of metal sheds. This is the first trap in the business. The building matters, but the land decides the outcome. A cheap site with no demand is not a bargain. An expensive site only works if the surrounding population, traffic, income, and competition can support the rent needed to justify it. Self-storage looks like a real estate business, but the first underwriting question is really a geography question. Who lives close enough to use it, and why would they choose this site? A facility usually pulls customers from a short drive time radius. That means a parcel can be cheap because it sits outside the daily path of the people who actually need storage. Open land near a highway may look convenient on a map, but if the nearby homes are sparse, traffic is mostly passing through, and population growth is flat, the facility may struggle to fill units at profitable rents. The best sites often have boring but powerful demand signals: dense housing nearby, apartment complexes with limited closets and no garages, new subdivisions where people are moving in before they have settled, small businesses that need space for tools, inventory, or records, good visibility from a road people already use, easy turns into the property. These details matter because storage is rarely a destination people want to hunt for. Then comes the local government. Cities often do not love self-storage. Compared with housing, restaurants, or retail, it creates fewer permanent jobs and less sales tax activity. Some zoning boards restrict where it can go, require special permits, limit signage, or push it into industrial areas where customer access is weaker. That means studying population trends, household density, competitor occupancy, unit mix, pricing, and the realistic lease-up period. And even when the location passes every test, the next mistake can happen after opening: misunderstanding how occupancy and pricing cycles actually work. A self-storage facility does not make money because the units exist. It makes money when rentable square feet turn into collected rent. The basic formula looks simple: rentable square feet multiplied by rent per square foot multiplied by occupancy. A 50,000 square foot facility charging $1.50 per square foot sounds like it could produce $75,000 a month at full occupancy. But full occupancy is not the normal starting point, and the posted rate is not always the collected rate. New facilities often take years to lease up. In the early months, the owner may offer 1 month free, discounted move-ins, or lower rates on unpopular unit sizes. If another facility opens nearby, both properties may cut prices to protect occupancy. The building can look active, with cars at the gate and locks on many doors, while the income statement still lags the original projection. There is also a difference between physical occupancy and economic occupancy. Physical occupancy measures how many units are rented. Economic occupancy measures how much rent is actually being collected compared with the maximum possible rent. A facility can be 90% physically occupied, but if many tenants are on old rates, promotions, or delinquent accounts, the economic occupancy may be much lower. Then revenue leaks out through churn, late payments, bad debt, credit card failures, lien notices, auction costs, and the time it takes to rent a unit again after someone leaves. Street rates are the headline. Realized revenue is the business. Once that revenue becomes less predictable, the fixed expenses become the real story. The first major leak is debt service. Many facilities are bought or built with loans, and the monthly payment does not care whether occupancy is 80% or 40%. If the loan has a floating rate, a facility that looked profitable at one interest rate can become tight after refinancing or rate resets. Property taxes are another fixed bill that can jump after a sale or reassessment. A buyer may underwrite taxes based on the previous owner's bill, then discover the county values the property much higher after the transaction. Insurance has also become more expensive in many markets, especially where storms, floods, fires, or theft claims are common. Utilities look small until the facility has lights, cameras, gates, office space, elevators, drainage pumps, and climate-controlled buildings. Security adds another layer: cameras, access control systems, keypad software, lighting repairs, monitoring, and sometimes patrol services. If the gate fails, tenants cannot enter or the property cannot be secured, so the repair becomes urgent rather than optional. Then come the ordinary costs that never make the sales brochure: asphalt cracks, roll-up doors jam, roofs leak, fences lean, drainage systems clog. Pest control becomes a recurring expense. Snow removal, landscaping, trash pickup, signage, paint, and office supplies all compete for the same rental income. Software and payment processing also take their cut. Modern facilities use management platforms for reservations, billing, access control, delinquency tracking, and automated notices. Credit card fees reduce every electronic payment, and failed payments create staff time, late notices, and sometimes legal steps. Climate-controlled storage raises the cost structure even further. The owner pays for heating, cooling, insulation, humidity management, maintenance contracts, and higher electricity usage. Tenants paying premium rent also expect cleaner hallways, stable temperatures, working elevators, better lighting, and faster responses when something feels wrong. Operational risks can turn one bad week into a costly month. Break-ins trigger repairs, insurance claims, angry customers, and reputation damage. Water intrusion can affect dozens of units at once. Delinquent tenants require lien notices, legal compliance, auctions, and careful record keeping. Local rules may limit signage, gate hours, expansion plans, or auction procedures. This is where the headline margins become less useful. Industry averages can look attractive, but leverage, taxes, repairs, local competition, and management quality decide how much cash the owner actually keeps. The owners who make serious money in self-storage usually are not just waiting for rent checks. They are improving the business, tightening pricing, and creating an asset that another buyer will value more highly. Scale changes the economics first. One facility may need software, advertising, accounting, a website, call handling, maintenance vendors, and management oversight. A portfolio can spread those same systems across thousands of units. The owner can buy supplies cheaper, negotiate better insurance, centralize phone calls, and use one marketing campaign to feed several locations in the same region. Pricing is the second lever. Storage rent is usually month to month, which gives owners more flexibility than apartments or long leases. A good operator tracks occupancy by unit size, demand by season, competitor pricing, and how long tenants stay. If small climate-controlled units are full, prices can rise. If large drive-up units are sitting empty, discounts can be targeted there without cutting the whole property. Extra revenue also matters. Tenant insurance, admin fees, locks, boxes, truck rentals, late fees, and online reservation charges can add income without building new units. None of these make a bad facility good, but together they can raise the revenue per customer. The biggest wealth creation often comes from buying a facility that is undermanaged. Maybe rents are below market, the website is weak, collections are loose, or occupancy is low because the property looks neglected. A new owner can improve signage, clean the site, modernize billing, adjust rates, and fill vacant units. If there is excess land, the next move may be expansion, boat and recreational vehicle parking, or climate-controlled buildings. Once income rises, the facility may sell at a stronger valuation. That is the real payoff, not effortless passive income, but local real estate arbitrage executed well. Self-storage looks simple because the product is a box. The business is land selection, debt, construction discipline, daily operations, and pricing. The winners buy the right site, avoid overbuilding, control expenses, manage rates, and think like real estate operators. Thanks for watching. Comment which boring business you want broken down next.